What's up, you guys? Your brother Rich here. Today in this video, I'm back with another car explosion video for y'all. And today I'll be talking to y'all about one of the most, for me, it was one of the most, beautiful looking cars. Like, this one, it looks standard, but it has, the best performance ever. Today, I'll be talking to y'all about the Cadillac CT5. So without any further ado, let's get started. So, the CT5's a mid-size, so overviews first, sorry, almost forgot the new way. So, overviews first, as always, let's begin. Manufacturer is obviously by GM, General Motors. So manufacturer, GM, General Motors, so General Motors. Production was from November 2019, and even to this day, from the end of the very late 2010s, during the 2020s. So production November 2019, and onwards. Model years is from 2020 and onwards. Assemblies, there's two locations. First one is at LGRA, Lansing Grand River Assembly, in the capital city of Lansing in the state of Michigan, in Ingham County, most populous city in the county. Parts of the city extended into Eaton County and north into Clinton County. And there's also the sixth most populous city in Michigan, with a population at the 2020 census of 112,644 people, which is not bad. But this time it probably might be a bit less, bit more. I'm not too sure. Anyways, so assemblies were at the LGRA, Lansing Grand River Assembly in Lansing, Michigan, in the States, and at the SAIC GM in Jinqiao. I can't pronounce that. It's spelled JIN QIAO in Shanghai in China at SAIC GM. Yeah, I can't really pronounce it correctly. Designers are both Josh Thurber and Henry Cavaja. Cavaja, I can't pronounce it. It's spelled KAVAJA. It's like anagrams or algorithms. Not algorithms, but I'd say a rhythm. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. Let's not get carried away. Body and chassis next. Class, mid-size, luxury car. It was in the four-door sedan for the body style. Layout was front motor, rear-wheel drive, and you can even get it in so front motor, rear-wheel drive, and not only that, you can even get it with front motor, four-wheel drive, or all-wheel drive technically. When I think of four-wheel drive, it's mostly for off-road cars, and you can even get it with a front mid-engine rear-wheel drive layout, known as the FMR layout. That's for the CT5V Blackwing. Platform was the GM Alpha 2. It's related to the Gen 6 Camaro and Cadillac CT4. Powertrain is next. The first motor, not so much, but the other two are just pretty badass. The first motor we got is the LSY, a 2-liter turbo inline 4. Then we got an LGY, a 3-liter twin turbocharged V6 motor. Then, the best one of them all, for the Blackwing version, we got an LT4, a 6.2-liter supercharged V8 that you find in both the Camaro and Corvette. Pretty cool motor. The three I would go with, I go with the V8 actually, because I'm more of a V8 muscle car guy. Yeah, I do like the V6, but the V8, God lord. But if I want to go with efficiency, then I have to go with the twin turbo V6, because turbos are more efficient than a supercharger, and lighter than a supercharger as well, and smaller, which makes it useful for the car. So a 6.2-liter supercharged LT4 V8 for the Blackwing. Gearboxes, there are two types. We got a TR6060 a 6-speed manual. That's only for the CT5V Blackwing. The rest of them use a Hydromatic 10L90, a 10-speed automatic. Dimensions is next. Wheelbase 2946 millimeters, dead on straight at 116 inches in wheelbase. Length 49 between 4923 to 4923 to 4953 millimeters, 193.8 to 195 inches dead on. The reason being is because why there's a 30 millimeter 1.2 inch difference there is because the standard one is a little bit shorter than the CT5V Blackwing. Width 1882 millimeters, 74.1 inches in width. Height 1453. It's between 1438 to 1453 millimeters. 1438 millimeters. 1450 1438 to 1453 millimeters. 56.6 to 57.2 inches. So 1438 to 1453 millimeters. 56.6 to 57.2 inches. Sorry, I can barely see a little bit because I don't have glasses on. Sorry. So that's around 15 millimeter. Yeah, 15 millimeter, 0.6 inch difference is because the standard CT5 is a little bit higher than the CT5V Blackwing. As for curb weight for the luxury rear-wheel drive version, it weighs in at 3660 pounds dead on, which is 1660 kilos. Chronology's next predecessors are both the CTS and XTS Cadillacs. Moving on, so the CT5's a mid-size look. So the CT5's a mid-size luxury car. Both many mid-size luxury car, both manufactured and marketed by GM until the Cadillac or Caddy, let's say for short, brand since 2019. So since 2019, it's the replacement for the CTS. Next overview, the CT5 debuted. The CT5 debuted at the 2019 NYAS New York Auto Show. Unlike its predecessor, the CTS, and the flagship CT6, the CT5's features are the CT5 features a more fastback body style. The CT5 went on sale in the fall of autumn 2019 and is available in 4 trim levels: luxury, premium, luxury, sport, and V. The base model CT5 is powered by the LSY, a 2-liter turbo inline-4 motor producing at 5,000 RPM for power, and between 1,500 to 4,000 RPM for torque. 237 horsepower and 258 pound-feet, 350 newton meters of torque. Just not bad for a 4-cylinder. It's pretty good. So the base model CT5 is powered by the LSY turbo 2-liter inline-4 producing 240 horsepower at 5,000 RPM and at between 1,500 to 4,000 RPM, 258 pound-feet of torque, 350 newton meters. And have torque between 1,500 to 4,000 RPM. The CT5 is also offered with an optional LGY, a 3-liter twin turbocharged V6 motor, producing 335 horsepower and 405 pound-feet, 549 or 550 newton meters of torque. So a 3-liter twin turbocharged LGY V6, which produces 335 horsepower. It doesn't show the RPM, but presumably it's the same for the 4-cylinder. I don't know. So 335 horsepower and 335 horsepower and 405 pound-feet, 549 newton meters of torque, which is not bad for a V6. That's in the standard CT5, or for a little bit of extra power, 360 5400 rpm for power, and between 2350 to 4000 rpm for so 5400 rpm for power, and between 2350 to 4000 for torque. So 5400 rpm for power, so 5400 rpm for power, 2350 between 4000 for torque. So in the standard CT5, or 360 horsepower and 405 pound-feet, 549 or 550 newton-meters of torque. Same as an M3 F80 and M4 F82 BMWs. So the CT5 is also offered with an optional 3-liter twin turbocharged LGY V6, which produces 335 horsepower and 405 pound-feet, 335 horsepower and 405 pound-feet, 549 newton-meters of torque in the standard CTS, or at 5400 RPM, 360 horsepower, and between 2350 to 4000 RPM, 405 pound-feet, 549 or 550 newton-meters of torque in a CT5V. The only gearbox offered is a 10-speed auto. In 2021, which improved a little bit better, Cadillac began offering their semi-autonomous driving system, Super Cruise, as an option feature. The SC, I'll just say for short, SC pack costs an additional $2,500, and it's the Gen 2 of Super Cruise or SC Tech, adding lane change on demand. The CT5 went on sale in the States in the fourth quarter of 2019 with a starting price of $36,895, less than $40,000. Not bad for a super sedan like that. So starting super sedan like this, the starting price of $36,895. In Canada, it was a little bit more expensive. The starting price was nearly $42,000. So the US and the States is pretty much cheaper than the ones in Canada. So it's cheaper than the ones in Canada. Alright, last but certainly not the very least we got is the 2025, so last year's facelift. The 2025, which was a good year back then, 2025 CT5 facelift debuted at the 2023 NIDAS, or NAIDAS. So the 2023 North American International Detroit Auto Show. So 2023 North American International Detroit Auto Show, and was launched in China in December 2023. Almost like the early mid 2020s, I think. I don't know. So in December 2023. The powertrain remains, while featuring both a restyled fascia and interior updates. Alright, so that'll be it. So for my next video, will be about the CT5V. So it's not much on it, but oh well. Say CT5V, and so yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. Peace.